And we are Maverick, and today we will present about the branding and core business growth. So I will start with the first part. How does branding work? So next slide, please. So the brand is considered as a name, term, size, symbol, or design or combination of them intended to identify the goods or services in one seller or group of sellers and to differentiate them from those competitors. So brand is thus a product or service whose dimension differentiate it in some way from other offerings designed to satisfy the same need. So the differences may be the functional, rational, or tangible that related to the product performance of the brand, or they may also be symbolic, emotional, or intangible related to the brand represent in a more abstract sense. So, for example, Apple iPhone, they differentiate their product functionally by its camera or uh, differentiate themselves from the symbol of its brand as an apple. So next slide, please. So the next part is the role of brands. So the brand identify the maker of a product and allow consumer to assign responsibility for its performance. For example, when you buy product, you have to know its producer so that the producer will ensure your safety while using the product. Or consumer may evaluate the identical product differently depending on it how it is branding. They learn about brands through past experience of the product and its marketing, finding out which brands satisfy their needs and which do not. For example, when you decided to purchase a phone, you will consider between different brands like Apple or Samsung. Our brands can also take on personal meaning to consumer and become an important part of identities. For some consumer, brands even take on human-like characteristics and brands perform valuable function of firm. First, they simplify product handling by helping organization inventory and accounting records. And in addition, a brand allows the firm legal protection for unique product features, for example, trademarks or patents that the brand will be legally protected. And brand loyalty provide the predictability and security of the demand of the firm, and it creates barrier to entry that make it difficult for other firms to enter the market. And loyalty can also translate into customer willingness to buy a higher price. So next slide, please. So the next content is the scope of branding. So branding is the process of endowing products and services with the power of a brand. So marketers need to teach the consumer who the product is by giving it a name and other brand elements to identify it as well as the product does and why the consumer should care. So branding create mental structure that help consumer organize their knowledge about offerings in a way of clarifies their decision making and in the process provide value to the firm. So, for example, there's some brand that try to teach the customer who the product is by its tagline by humanize the brand to the consumer. So successful brands as in a genuine, real, and authentic in what they sell as well as who they are. So next will be my friend's part.
Okay, the second. Okay, so the second part is defining brand equity, and my name is Minh Trang, and I will be in charge of this part. So brand equity is the added value endowed to products and services with consumers. Uh, Basically, customer-based approaches recognize that the power of a brand lies in what customer sees, read, heard, learn, and felt about the brand over time. So the small part is customer-based brand equity. So it refers to the unique impact brand awareness has on how consumers react to a brand's marketing. Customer who respond more positively to a product, they will have a higher brand value based on their interaction with that product. So in contrast, if customer respond less positively to marketing for the brand under similar condition, the brand has unfavorable customer base brand equity. So there are three key ingredients of this First, brand equity arises from differences in consumer response. If no difference occur, the brand name product is a commodity and the competition will probably be based on price. Second, differences in response are a result of customer brand knowledge. At all the thoughts, feeling, image, or experience associated with the brand they must create a strong and unique brand association with customer. And last one, brand equity is reflected in perception, preferences, and behavior related to all aspects of the brand marketing. In conclusion, stronger brands they will earn greater revenue. The next part is brand equity models. Next slide, please. So, to be more specific, model of brand equity offers some different perspective on branding. The first one is brand asset valuator. Uh, as you can see in this figure, it covers four pillars. Strong new brands show higher level of energized differentiation and energy than relevance, uh, whereas both esteem and knowledge are lower. Uh, and about the leadership brand, they show high level on all pillars, with strength greater than stature. Declining brand, they show high knowledge, a lower level of esteem, and even lower relevance and energized differentiation. The next, please. Next is brand dynamic. This model is based on a system of brand association, a meaningful, different, and salient that builds customer to buy a brand. The association have three important outcome measure. The first one is power. It means a prediction of brand volume. Second is premium. It is the ability to command a price premium. And the last one is potential. It is the probability that a brand will grow value share. And the last model is brand resonance. It views brand building as an ascending series of steps. It's enact these four steps means establishing a pyramid of six brand building blocks. As you can see in this figure, the model emphasizes the duality of brands. The rational route to brand building is on the left side of the pyramid. Meanwhile, the emotional route is on the right side. So that is all about the second part.
Next part gonna be building brand equity, and my name is Phương Thảo. So, memorable, meaningful, likability, transferable, adaptable, and protectable are brand element are important for building a strong brand identity. A brand element should also like be transferable across different markets and adaptable to changing consumer needs and preference. And finally, a brand element should be protectable through trademark or other legal means to prevent competitors from copying or imitating it. Next slide, please. Next one is designing holistic marketing activities. It involves managing all the touch points and the interaction that customer have with the brand, including personal observation, word of mouth, online experience, and payment transactions. And integrated marketing activities should consistently reinforce the brand promise to maximize their individual and collective effect. And customer come to know a brand through a brand of contact or touch point. So that's why designing holistic marketing activities are really important to the brand. Next slide, please. The next one is leveraging associations. It involves linking the brand to other source of meaning in consumers' memory, such as other brands, characters, events, or geographic regions. This can be an effective way to strengthen a brand, but it also carries some risk if the other entity become associated with negative events or experience. Uh, yeah, as you can see here, maybe like the spokesperson through endorsement or sporting or cultural event through sponsorship. If they have the negative experience or effect, it's gonna be like a risk to the brand. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next one and the last one is the internal branding. Internal branding consists of training and inspiring employees to embody the brand values and deliver a consistent customer experience. This can be include distributors and dealers as well as company employees, so that a strong internal branding approach can help maintain a brand image and contribute to its success as a company. As you can see here, one example of internal branding is Googliness culture, which emphasize creativity, innovation, and collaboration among its employees. And the company internal communication platform and training program reinforce its culture and help the employee embody the Google brand values. So by that, this internal branding approach has helped Google maintain its innovative and customer-focused brand image and has contributed to its success as a company. And that is the end of my part.
Okay, my name is hello teachers, hello uh, class. My name is Wanan, and I will continue with the measuring and managing brand equity part. Um, We come to the first part here is brand audits and brand tracking. A brand audit is a focused series of procedures to assess the health of the brand, uncover its sources of brand equity, and suggest ways to improve and leverage its equity. A good brand audit provides keen insights into consumers, brands, and the relationship between two. Brand tracking studies use the brand audit as input to collect quantitative data from consumers over time. These tracking studies help us understand where, how much, and in what ways brand value is being created to facilitate day-to-day decision making. For brand valuation, um, marketers should distinguish brand equity from brand valuation, which is the job of estimating the total financial value of the brand. In some well-known companies, brand value is typically more than half the total company market capitalization. Like top brand management firm Interbrand, as you can see here, they have developed a five-step model to estimate the dollar value of a brand and help firms maximize return on brand investment. The first step is market segmentation to determine variations among the brand's different customer groups. The second step is financial analysis to assess its purchase price, volume, and frequency, and help calculate accurate forecasts of future brand sales and revenues. The result is economic earnings, the earning attributed to the branded business. The third step is market research to assess the role of branding and calculate the percentage of economic earnings generated by the brand, which use brand earnings. The fourth step is to assess the brand strength and determine the likelihood that the forecasted brand earnings will be realized. And the final step is to calculate brand value, the net present value of the forecasted brand earnings discounted by the brand discount rate. And the next part is managing brand equity. Um, For the brand reinforcement, marketers can reinforce brand equity by consistently conveying the brand's meaning in terms of the first is what products re- represents, what core benefits it supplies, and what needs it satisfy. And the second is how the brand makes products superior and which strong, favorable, and unique brand associations should exist in consumer minds. Reinforcing brand equity requires that the brand always be moving forward in the right direction and with new and compelling offerings and ways to market them. For example, every new iOS update for or release of a new product is a reinforcement strategy to ensure their customers always know uh, that they are committed to delivering top quality products. This helps them constantly stay ahead of their competition and also ensure that customers, old, new, and even people who don't buy their products know of their latest products. And the next way to manage brand equity is brand revitalization. Any new development in the marketing environment can affect brands' fortunes. Nevertheless, a number of brands have managed to make impressive comebacks in recent years. For example, after some hard time in the market, BTS returned with campaign Đi để trở về, featuring singer Subin Hoàng Sơn, and the appearance of a novel sub-brand BTS Hunter has turned the internet upside down and become one of the most popular media campaigns. And it also blew up the total revenue by 250% at the end of season 2 and was at top of the YouTube ad leader that for both 2017 and 2019. So that is the end of my part.
Okay, my name is Kim Tuyền, and now I will present about devising a branding strategy. First of all, we will talk about branding decision. Next slide, please. Uh, Assuming a firm decide to brand its product or service. Next slide, please. Okay. Assuming a firm decides to brand its product or service, it must choose which brand names to use. Three general strategies are popular. First of all is individual or separate family brand names. Companies often use different brand names for different quality lines within the same product class. Uh, Second is corporate umbrella or company brand name. Many firms such as GE use their corporate brand as an umbrella brand across their entire range of products. Development costs are lower and sales of the new product are likely to be strong if the manufacturer's name is good. And corporate image association of innovativeness, appetite, and trustworthiness have been shown to directly influence consumer evaluation. And the last one is sub-brand name. Sub-brand combine two or more of corporate brand, family brand, or individual product brand names. And we will talk about brand portfolio. Next slide for me, Wunderno. Brand portfolio. Brands can also play a number of specific roles as a part of portfolio. Flanker or fighter brands are positioned with respect to competitor brands so that more important or more profitable flagship brand can retain their design positioning. And cash cow, some brand may be kept around despite dwindling sales because they manage to maintain their profitability with virtually no marketing support. company can effectively milk their cash cow brands by capitalizing on their reservoir of brand equity and low in entry level. The role of a relatively low price brand in the portfolio maybe to attract customer brand franchise and high-end British. The role of a relative high price brand often to add British and credibility to entire portfolio. And we move to next slide, please. We about brand extension. We will talk about advantages, disadvantages, and success characteristics. Advantages of brand extension. There are two main advantages of brand extension. They can facilitate new product acceptance and provide a positive feedback to the parent brand and company. Customer form expectation about a new product based on what they know about the parent brand and the extent to which they feel this information is relevant. And a second advantage is that brand extension can provide feedback benefits. They can help to clarify the meaning of a brand or and its core value or improve consumer loyalty to the company behind the extension. But in the other side, it still have disadvantages. On the other side, like extension makes the brand name to be less strongly identified with any one the product, and brand dilution occur when consumer no longer associate with a brand with a specific or highly similar set of product and start thinking less of the brand. So how about the success characteristic? Marketers must judge each potential brand extension by how effectively it leverage existing brand equity from parent brand as well as how effectively in how effectively and in turn it contributes to the parent brand's equity. So we will move to the next part presented by my brand.
So the last part is about the customer equity, and my name is Kenwig. So, firstly, is brand equity and customer equity are two important marketing concepts, and customer equity is the sum of the lifetime values of all customers and is aimed at producing high customer loyalty. And pop brands equity and customer equity emphasize customer loyalty and the importance of having customer pay high price. So, customer equity focus on the bottom line financial value, while the brand equity emphasize the strategic issues in managing brand and creating and leveraging brand awareness and image. So brand equity approach could benefit from sharper segmentation scheme, afforded by customer level analysis, and more consideration of how to develop personalized and customized marketing program. Next slide, please. So next is the driving growth. So an important functions of marketing is to drive sales and revenue growth. So marketing is especially effective and at promoting new product with many competitive advantage and much potential. So first is about the growth strategy. So next slide, please. So the Arthur Phil and Martin Kotler struck 8 growth strategy for companies. So the first is building market share. Next is developing committed customer and stakeholder, building a powerful brand, innovating new offering and experience, expanding internationally, arranging acquisitions, merger and alliance, building an outstanding reputation for social responsibility, and partnering with governmental and non-governmental organizations. So the next is the growing the core. So growing the core can be less risky than expanding it to new product category, and it can strengthen the brand's credential as a source of authority and credibility, leading to a greater profits. So next slide, please. The UK marketing David Taylor recommended three main strategy for growing the core. Firstly, is making the core of the brand as distinctive as possible. Next is driving distribution through existing and new channel and
And the final one is offering the core product in a new format and version. So example of successful core growth strategy include the Galaxy chocolate, refined text and sleek packaging, the Costa coffee news distribution, routes using drive-through outlets, vending machine and in-school location, and finally is the WD-40S Smart Straw version of its popular multi-purpose lubricant. So this is the end of our presentations. Thank you for your listening.